for the swearing in. And please raise your right hand, and I'm going to read the statement, and once I complete the statement, you will say, "I do." I do solemnly swear that I possess all of the qualifications of the office of Parks and Recreation Board of Commissioners under the Charter of Kansas City, Missouri, adopted by the vote of the people of said city, August 8, 2006, and all subsequent amendments thereto, and am not subject to any of the disqualifications in said charter name, that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state of Missouri, that I will observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of Kansas City, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office. So help me God.
I do.
Thank you.
I just touched it. It's touched. I just want to wait for it. Thank you. Woohoo! Can we clap? Yes, this is good.
President Holland, would you pass the gavel over to our incoming president?
Certainly.
Dayton?
Bring it around the back. Huh?
And we can get a picture, please.
Please don't worry for this. Don't flip over.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Welcome to the commission.
Thank you so much. Thank you. There you go.
And then we have
Very quickly, have a few words. I appreciate all of your willingness as volunteers to become part of a 135-year tradition of the Kansas City, Missouri Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners. That tradition has resulted in Kansas City's park system being recognized as one of the most highly regarded in the United States. You will be working with an outstanding professional staff, many of whom are here today, a staff who I had the honor of working with for 4 years. One last thing, and please be assured, as individuals or collectively, as this transition takes place, if I can be of any assistance in that transition, please don't hesitate to call on me. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I actually have a word and would like to acknowledge and thank Jack. Thank you for how you supported the onboarding. We've had an array of emotional experiences, but I tell you, it has been really helpful to me in onboarding. So thank you for your institutional knowledge and no doubt your love and respect for Kansas City. So thank you so much for your leadership. We're looking at, Alex, we're looking at you. I don't know if she's frozen. Are you frozen? Can you hear us? Okay. We're working on it.
We're gonna get this fixed one day.
I know. President Hayden, we would love your support. Yeah.
Next agenda.
Yes, work in progress.
I think
yeah, we got it.
Alex can talk now.
Yeah,
She
go
can
ahead,
thumbs
Alex.
up.
Thank you. Well, I just want to thank everyone, specifically the staff at Parks and Rec, for all of your support and everything that you continue to do for our city. During my tenure there, I learned a lot from you, and even though Jack and I are no longer going to be on the commission, we are still going to be here for you. So if there is anything that we can be of support with, I look forward to still volunteering with the parks and being of support in any way that I can. So just thank you all for being there for the city.
Thank you.
I cannot let the opportunity pass without sharing my public gratitude to you, Alex, for your heart, for sharing your heart and your leadership and your passion for community. It was definitely a waymaker for me. And so thank you so much for your dedication, and we hope to continue your legacy of support for the entire Kansas City. Thank you.
Parks and Rec next. So thank you for your service, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person today. I happen to be in Puerto Rico, so
Bragging.
yeah, but y'all stay warm, and I will see you when I get back. So
Thank
Thank you, Alex.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Stevie. Bye.
I'd like to invite Councilman Sharp to come up to the podium.
Well, thank you very much. I'm John Sharp. If you're a student of ancient history, I used to be on the city council. I served 8 years, then was off for 16 and came back for 8 more, which shows I'm a glutton for punishment. And I've also served on volunteer boards, such as being on PIAC and being on the Hickman Mills School Board. And I know that as volunteers on boards like this, you often put in as much time as the people who have paid positions in government. And I greatly appreciate the work you do, and I just wanted to thank our outgoing commissioners for everything they've done. I've known Jack since we were both relatively young, and I've always understood, and I know you understand, that our parks are really, they're not a frill, they're essential to strong neighborhoods. And I am so pleased that we've been able to develop some of the parks we have in South Kansas City. I live just a few blocks from the Bay Water Park, and that has been such a tremendous asset to us, because a lot of the folks out there, if they didn't have that, there just wouldn't be a whole lot to do in the summer. My son, who's a state legislator, literally can walk to there. And he and his wife now have a 2-year-old, almost a 3-year-old, so they'll be spending some time there, and I've sure spent some time, but we really appreciate that. And when I was on PIAC as Councilman McManus's representative, I always tried to make sure we got some money in for the parks every year. Now, of course, on PIAC you get about 9 times the amount of requests that you have money for, but I think we always tried to understand that parks were not a frill. They were something that were essential to strong neighborhoods. So I'd just like to thank you for your service, but I'd also like to thank our outgoing commissioners, and particularly Jack Holland, who I've worked with for so long. And it's great to have these park facilities and the community centers, which mean so much to our neighborhoods. And the Bay has really been a huge asset. And of course, not only do we have the water park there, but we have youth football fields, and South Suburban football started playing there, and we've got a youth football program there now. And without that, a lot of those kids wouldn't have anything positive to do in the summer. And plus, the youth football program prepares them, to play high school and middle school sports. So thank you so much for everything you do, Jack. Thank you for everything you've done and will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, I'm
Sorry, we have 3 more commissioners. They're just here, past commissioners, Commissioner Garney, Commissioner Gromowski, and Commissioner Fierro.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you for your past service. I'm very quickly learning what a time commitment service on this board will entail. And so on behalf of the residents of the city of Kansas City, Missouri, I just want to thank President Holland and Commissioner Perez-Rico for their dedication. I hope when you drive around the city going forward, you could be really proud of what you see that you had an impact on. And we are very grateful, and I will be taking you up on your offer for assistance going forward. So thank you. We've got a little something for you.
Can we take a picture? Can we take a picture of
Yeah.
the commissioners, please?
You get in the middle. You're there.
Well, we've got some other people coming over, so I've done this before, we've got some.
We're supposed to be with the flag. Yeah, okay.
You got everybody?
Thank you, President Holland.
Well, with that, I will officially call this meeting to order. Will Secretary Houston please call roll?
To start, Commissioner Grant, Commissioner Taylor, President Hayden, Commissioner Contreras, and Commissioner Smith. Director Cotton.
Here.
Phew. All right. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the September 26, 2023 board minutes. Do any of my fellow board members have any changes or comments to this item?
Madam President,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to accept the minutes from September 26, 2003.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. Next item. The second item on the agenda is resolution number 32348, considering board approval of the 2024-2025 Parks and Recreation budget submittal. Director Cotton is the sponsor of this memo, and I invite him now to speak briefly about this item.
Yes, the budget request presented to you for the operation of the Parks and Recreation Department for fiscal year 2024-2025 totals $80,214,801. Terrence Williams, financial manager, is here to answer any questions you might have.
Terrence Williams, Financial Manager. Welcome, new commissioners.
Thank you.
I'll start. First of all, thank you, Terrence, so much for your diligence in this budget. I recognize and would like to note, we, as a commission, because it was in transition, did not have necessarily the workshop time that we initially intended for this. So
Correct.
I'll ask you to spend some time on highlighting some of the key areas. I know that one of the pieces that I've mentioned before is our consideration around budget dollars and the support to spaces, in particular Bruce R. Watkins and the Black Archives. Can you share more about any budget considerations that were added?
Yes, and so as I speak to about Bruce R. Watkins, Bruce R. Watkins is in the general fund, and so there was a request to slightly increase some operations for Bruce R. Watkins. And so that is something that the budget office ultimately will have control over, raising those appropriations.
Has that been part of the note of this as far as the recommendation and that consideration? Has that been, or what might be the way that that can be advocated for the general fund?
All right, and so we did place it in the budget, and there was conversations about Bruce R. Watkins, and you also mentioned Black Archives of Mid-America. So there was conversations with the budget office about increasing both of their budgets. As I speak about Black Archives of Mid-America, I know that initially we were talking about increasing their budget by 45%. And that was initially what was talked about. And then we asked that their budget be increased 100%. So they would double their operational budget for Black Archives of Mid-America.
Okay.
And those monies are the 2030, which will come out of the parks tax.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Any other question?
I'm curious on the increases to the golf fund. The note says that there are substantial increases to golfers in Kansas City. Does that just mean more people interested in coming out and playing on one of our golf courses?
Or all of the golf courses.
Okay.
Yeah, and so since COVID, it's been a real big increase in golf. And so what we've been doing in the past several years is because of the expenses has exceeded, and revenue that has exceeded the budget, we went back to city council and asked for more appropriations. So this is the first year that we anticipated those increases and put those in the initial budget. And so that's why you see that significant increase in both expenses and operations for the golf fund.
Continue to be proud of the golf team.
Great. Anyone else?
I move to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. Next item. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32349, considering board approval for the use of $432,207 from the special gifts fund to be used for the 9th and Van Brunt athletic fields. Director Cotton is the sponsor of this memo, and I invite him now to speak briefly about this item.
Yes. Recently, the Parks Department took back over the operations of the 9th and Van Brunt Soccer Complex. There was substantial damage to the turf. At that point in time, the fields were not deemed playable by Misha for state high school soccer. So staff initiated repairs of the existing turf to make it safe. Those repairs were done. However, the field will still not qualify under Misha. They still will not make it game playable due to the difference in heights of some of the turf, some of the patches that were done before we took back over operations. So our request is for $432,207 out of the special gifts fund, which our donations are not part of our normal operating budget. And then there's $250,000 set aside in PIAC funding for this project as well. If this is approved today, then we should have new turf in place by the spring soccer season. That is the hope.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
So who will water and get this grass growing when it comes out?
This is artificial turf, sir.
It's artificial?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, okay. Thanks.
So can I say how excited I am about the progress of this? It is unfortunate to learn about that, but I am excited to hear that there are dollars that can be leveraged to do this. I'm curious, it was my understanding that, was there any community funds that were also raised to support this that you're aware of?
Not through us, not that I'm aware of. There were some that when Guadalupe handled the facility, they did indicate they had some private money raised, but I'm not aware of how much that is.
Okay, so this is completely
This is completely separate.
separate
Yes,
from
ma'am.
that, okay? And this will maintain under our responsibility and support, that we don't have any plans in returning to any.
Private contractor of the facility. At this time, no, we will continue to maintain. We may sublet some things in the future for consideration, but we will retain ownership of the facility to make sure the turf stays in good condition, the facility stays clean. We've done a lot of work out there to try to begin making the facility safer. And the goal is with the other renovation project the RFPs will be in for soon, then the goal is to have a high quality facility in the 3rd district, 3rd, 4th, 5th district soccer players to utilize, hopefully beginning the economic redevelopment of that area.
I'm happy to hear that, as this continues to be an investment on our part, and I think this is the best way that we've learned through experience that we can protect our investment.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question, a couple of questions. You mentioned Guadalupe Center. Soccer is a sport that prices out many in our community, specifically those that live near 9th and Van Brunt in that northeast area. Can you tell us a little bit, or can you expound a little bit on how those community groups will still be able to use this renovated space?
Absolutely.
Will they still have access? What does that look like?
So right now, the facility is free for use for anyone who has not reserved the facility. As we work to develop the new turf field, we also have a grant in to try to get funding for 2 more mini pitches out there. Our fees are going to be less than the private vendors charge, and that money will actually go back into future turf replacement. But we will schedule it through our staff, and we will do everything we can to make sure that all the groups that need to use it have turf time. Obviously, in the future, we're going from 1 turf field to 2 turf fields out there. I still don't believe that's enough. But once we fill those fields, then we'll come back and we'll discuss how we can further expand affordable soccer for those districts.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
I believe John Fiero wanted to speak.
Yes, John. Come up, sir.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Welcome to everyone. John Fiero, former board president, commissioner, and want to speak in support of this action that has come before you. I appreciate the comments of the commissioners. My daytime job, I'm the CEO of Mattie Road Center. We are located in historic Northeast, and had a meeting as recently as yesterday with Director Cotton. We work with the U.S. Soccer Foundation, which was a relationship established when I was on the park board here over 10 years ago, and have a number of programs. And Director Cotton met with myself and a couple of soccer club members about forming an advisory committee that would ensure that the neighborhood kids have access to that park. And Commissioner Taylor, I couldn't agree with you enough about the pricing. We need to make sure that that is very minimal. What we don't want, and in fact, it was during my tenure that we built 9th and Van Brunt, we do not want to price our kids out of their own park. And I would say that the moves that Director Cotton has put in place is going to support our neighborhood kids, and there's a lot of positive activity. And certainly with any park, we have to work through some challenges, and he's doing a great job to do that. But I would just say that I support this and would ask for your support and continued commitment to the neighborhood kids. And whatever we can do from a Mattie Road Center standpoint to help leverage private foundation monies or even our relationship with the U.S. Soccer Foundation, we are committed to do so. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Fier. Any other comments?
Move to approve.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32350, considering board approval of change order number 1 with Gunter Construction Company for the Swope Park Connector Trail Project in the amount of $19,420. I thought Chief Engineer Wong was going to be speaking, but that is not who's speaking.
James Wong is out on vacation, so I'm Richard Allen, Deputy Director, and again, this is a trail project within Swope Park. It's a change order, and this will be the last change order, and it activates area of Blue River Road that will allow people to walk from Heart of America Golf Course to Eddie Ballantyne Trail. It's the part of a larger network along the Blue River, and so it's exciting. And then we've used federal dollars to leverage this project. So federal dollars paid about 60 cents on a dollar on this project. Be glad to answer any questions.
Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve resolution number 32351? Or sorry, 32350? I'm moving ahead.
So moved.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32351, considering board approval of amendment number 1 with Draw Architecture for the Blues Park Outdoor Skating Rink project in the amount of $26,100 and extending the term of the contract to December 15th, 2023. Deputy Director Allen, may now speak briefly about this item.
Okay. Blues Park is located about 20th and Prospect. This is a project that's an outdoor skating rink and allow, the area to be activated. We hired Draw Architect to do the architectural work for the outdoor. It'll be just a concrete rink and then a covered structure. This amendment allow a restroom to be designed, plumbed, and it'll be like the other restrooms throughout the park system. And so this amendment allow them to do that design work, and be glad to answer any questions.
Continue to be excited about the development of this. As we know, it is imperative that we have safe spaces and places for community members in their community to attend. So excited to see this project move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Any other comments? All right. Well, with that, may I have a motion to approve resolution number 32351?
So be it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32352, considering board approval of change order number 3 with Amino Brothers Company for the Paseo Gateway Intersection Project in the amount of $193,337.87 and extending the substantial completion date to May 29th, 2024. Deputy Director Allen, you may speak about this item.
Okay, Paseo Gateway Project's an exciting project. The idea around it was to create a gateway as people come off the highway to the south at Independence and Paseo. We were able to leverage federal dollars, GEO bond dollars, PIAC dollars from Council District 3 and 4. The project is under construction. Amino Brothers is in their final phase of construction. This change order allows for rock excavation for a detention pond that's right by KCU University, and then also it extends the calendar days that the final paving for the project can occur in spring of '24. So we'd be glad to answer any questions.
Deputy Director, I'm just curious, was this just a miss or just did we turn a direction because we knew that rock was there? Why wasn't this part of the original?
On that one is, there was geotech work there, but it was not, the area there's one area of the intersection along Paseo, closer to Independence. We just ran into some rock that we didn't think was there. Okay. And then also with all the construction of the KCU, they didn't expect to find the rock. So it was a field observation, when they got into construction. And so we needed to maintain the depth of the detention area to retain so much water. And then you also have to do like a clay liner to retain the water. So it's not one where we could have stopped the level of the pond at the rock level. We had to go ahead and excavate to get the full capacity for that pond area.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I was just curious,
Yeah.
did we make a turn to somewhere the project? Because this level of change, and we see a lot of change orders, but just curious how this came about. But thank you for that.
It's one that would have been nice to been caught at
Yes.
the geotechnical phase, yes.
At the geotechnical level.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question.
Any other? All right. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 32352?
So moved. Second.
You want me to answer? Come on, man. We're trying to do it all.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This item is passed.
Just be patient. Let the
Yeah.
commission
We'll get it down. We'll get it down. We got time.
I'm just used to moving fast.
He's excited.
The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32353, considering board approval of an encroachment license renewal agreement with the Broadway Cafe for its property located at 4106 Broadway. Deputy Director Allen.
All right.
Please go ahead.
Just a quick explanation on this is Parks controls right-of-way along the boulevard and parkways. And from time to time, developments encroach into that right-of-way. And then when they encroach into the right-of-way for, let's say, steps or a sign or even landscaping, we do these encroachment agreements. And so this encroachment agreement is for a blade sign along this business, and then we charge them a square foot rate. And then since this is in the Westport CID, they have a set rate, per square footage. And then we got a minimal, fee. And so on this project, we have the minimal fee of $150 that we're going to be assessing on this agreement. So be glad to answer any questions.
Move to approve.
Hearing, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, this item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32354, considering board approval of a contract amendment number 1 with the Kansas City Community Gardens Giving Grove for $52,000 to plant trees and garden plots located in backyards, vacant lots, and community sites. Are you?
I'm Alice Hannon, I'm Forrester.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
The amendment, as it says, is to establish new and ongoing orchards in low-income areas. It provides a way for communities to get fresh fruit and, berries and nuts, and also to learn how to grow those things themselves. We have everything from individuals to, neighborhood groups,
learning how to do this and making a positive impact in the neighborhoods. So we'd like to do some more.
Is that all given to community members free of charge, low cost? How does it work?
It's, yes, it's given free of charge. They work it out, people volunteer to work in the orchards as they learn, and they go through the neighborhoods. It depends, if it's a backyard, then it's usually just the homeowner there. But if it's a community group, then they'll divide it amongst themselves and, share it where they can.
Any other questions?
This isn't a new
No.
orchard, this is just to maintain.
Well,
or
this
in
is,
education.
they will establish some new ones too, because there is continuing interest, across the city for that type of thing. Sometimes folks will see it happen in this corner of their neighborhood and they go, hey, that's a great idea, let's do it over here. So trying to meet that need in education.
All right. With no other comments, may I have a motion to approve?
So approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this motion has passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32355, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement for the whole person for the use of the gymnasium at Brush Creek Community Center for adult bocce ball. Are you Superintendent Jett?
I am.
Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is Jennifer Jett. I'm the Superintendent of Community Services. I've worked for KC Parks for 4 years. I oversee the 10 community centers, Bruce R. Watkins, athletics, aquatics, and inclusive programs. So this agreement we have here, we've had this agreement with the whole person. We partner with them in various ways. For this agreement, it's a facility use without concessions of the Brush Creek Community Center gym for 11 days throughout the year, ranging from November 21st to April 23rd, and they're going to be providing adult bocce ball. And I'll answer any questions you might have.
My comment is, hi Jen, is more about sharing with our new commissioners. The previous commission has asked the staff team asked the staff team to communicate to all those that we enter in any type of agreement with to provide at least 30 days notice. As at least I'll speak for myself. A concern is without that, it really kind of just makes this perfunctory than really us being able, as you can notice, if the dates come up. So not necessarily just shining a light on this one, but that has been our request. And I think we talked about an 8-month kind of grace, supporting the staff team with 8 months to effectively communicate this, that as people are making inquiries, that we have more than 30 days. Because as we look through some of these, you see they're like tomorrow.
Yes.
Friday.
And we are the ones that kick that off. We are somewhat of an offender of that 30-day, because as we get into the spring, we have a lot of athletics agreements, and so I would stand up here and say, and practice starts at 2 p.m. today,
Right.
so please say yes. So we're doing better with that now.
Thank you so much. And we love that things are happening. It just really helps us be a better partner. So thank you for your adjustment, Jen.
Any other questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, this item is passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32356, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Kansas City Golden Gloves Association to facilitate the development and implementation of a boxing program at Garrison Community Center. Superintendent Jett, I'll let you go ahead.
Thank you. So we've partnered with Golden Gloves of Kansas City at the Garrison location for several years now. They focus on 2 groups for their boxing program. They have a youth program, which you can see in the memo. We do allow the youth to participate in that program for free since it is a youth program, and Golden Gloves provides the coaches for that program. They are volunteers. And then we also have a program that services 18 to 25-year-olds, and that program is $30 per month. And then I'll also note that we do require with our programs that each organization carries their own general liability insurance. And then with youth programs, we require an additional insurance of sexual abuse and molestation insurance. So when you see that on the memos, that is what we require from those groups.
Thank you. Are the economics of this agreement similar to what is currently in place or has been in place in the past, just in terms of, free of charge for youth and
Yes.
cost for the adults?
What I will say is last year, we did change the pricing for the adult members to participate because everybody was free at that point, and we did want to make some cost recovery steps as it came to allowing the space to be used for free. We wanted to make sure that there was some buy-in to the program. We find that when we offer everything for free, there's a lot less buy-in. So we kept the youth free, and then we charge for adults.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 32356?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item has passed. The next item on the agenda is resolution number 32357, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Rockhurst University for the use of facilities at Greg Kleiss Community Center to conduct a health clinic. Superintendent Jett, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you. So we have been working on this agreement for quite some time. We were trying to meet the 30-day notice, but the board meetings were adjusting. So we do have this health fair going on November 4th, and we are partnered with Rockhurst University. We also, one of the things that we wanted to note is that we do have students that were awarded a grant to perform some just research related to the disparities in health in the community. So they'll be taking some surveys at the health fair to kind of help their research with this grant that they've been awarded. So the health fair is this Sunday at Greg Kleiss.
Great. We're happy about that.
All right, can I have a motion to approve resolution number 32357?
Approved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item has passed.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 32358, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with the Kansas City Public Schools for the renovation of the Paseo Stairs. Director Cotton is the sponsor of this memo.
Yes, thank you. Representatives from Kansas City Public Schools, the City of Kansas City Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners, and the Ruby Jeans Foundation have had ongoing conversations for feasibility of renovating the Paseo Stairs. This conversation has been going on for several years. Two possible scopes of work for this project are either a full renovation, rebuild option, or a patch and repair. The city shall be responsible for payment in the amount not to exceed $150,000 in PIAC funds for the design and engineering of the project. The remaining construction costs will come from fundraising. The deadline for fundraising by Kansas City Public Schools and Ruby Jeans Foundation is June 30th, 2024. This time, staff recommends to board approval of this agreement.
I definitely have a comment about this.
Yes, ma'am.
If I may.
Please, go ahead.
So I want to take some time to acknowledge the work of former Commissioner Chris Good in his continuous advocation for this as a user of the Paseo Stairs. On behalf of so many other community members, it's exciting to see the power of partnership. So also want to thank the school district and look forward to completion. And this is another PIAC supported project that it looks like we're going to be able to support so that the community can get their full use of their dollars. So this is exciting.
Anyone else? I'll just note, I drove past them on my way here this afternoon, and I look forward to seeing them spruced up and back to their original glory. So, with that, may I have a motion to approve resolution number 32358?
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that item is passed. final resolution on the agenda is resolution number 32359, considering board approval for the submittal of a grant application of a partnership grant program from the Platte County Parks and Recreation Department for the Platte Purchase Park project with a local match of the amount of $200,000 funded via the Parks Go bond program. Deputy Director Allen, go ahead.
All right, okay. Platte Purchase Park is one of our larger parks up north. And in that park, we have baseball and then soccer, and then we have a playground. But this would bring 8 pickleball courts up to Platte Purchase Park. And then Platte County has a park sales tax, and they have a grant program. And so through that grant program, we're applying for the construction of 8 courts. We have Dave Park with us from the 2nd District, Pyack, and then you serve on the park board up there, Dave? No, West Bender serves on the park board. Yeah, but you're in
Don't give him
support.
extra jobs.
Yeah, we don't want to mess it up. But Dave supports this project. But, their grant programs have funded shelters, restrooms, parking, trailheads in the past. So it's a great partnership. And at one time, Platte County did own part of the park, and the city owned the other part, and then they deeded over their county portion to the city several years ago. But this will be a good project. We get a lot of requests for pickleball courts.
Any questions? All right. May I have a motion to approve resolution number 32359?
So be it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this item has passed. All right, we will now move into public hearing. The first member of the public who has signed up is Mr. David Park.
Sorry, I thought I would just sign in.
Oh, you're, okay. So you're,
I'm here. I do support that resolution. Thank you for adopting.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next is a group of individuals, Jesse Dang, Ken Springer, and Abby Gray.
Hi, I'm Jessie Dang, and I'm with the Dog Park Improvement Group, and we're here to just represent all the patrons of the dog parks that we attend, specifically Penn Valley Off-Leash Dog Park. I do know that there is a Penn Valley Conservancy group out there that takes care of the entire park as a whole, but doesn't take care of our dog park. So we've kind of oversee the park, kind of maintain, keep it clean. Abby Gray there, she does the, she hosts the park cleanup, so we do monthly poop pickups or as needed, but based on patron needs. So we're kind of here to just let you know that we are here, and we're looking for somebody to communicate with us within the parks board or on the staff, because right now we are not having any luck kind of getting routine maintenance for our park. Recently, our park was closed for 3 weeks, and when it reopened, it was in worse conditions than it was when it had closed. And it's really frustrating for the patrons because they're looking for a safe place to take their dogs. And since COVID, we've seen an increased amount of traffic at the park, and it's one of the largest parks in the city. So our biggest ask is, can we have a dedicated person for just the dog parks in our city?
Mm-hmm. First of all, thank you so much for your support and volunteering and bringing this to our attention. I'm curious, Director Cotton, whose auspice, what does this fall under?
That falls under park maintenance, which would be Kevin Evans, and that specifically is in District 2, and that would be Anthony Barnes, who oversees that district. So we definitely have follow-up conversations.
Okay.
Would those be the individuals that I would communicate with in terms of park maintenance?
Anthony Barnes is over that district, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked that question just to help facilitate and pass information through, but I think it'd also be great if, since we have your information, if Secretary Houston can follow up specifically with how you can get in contact, and I would love to stay abreast on, the improvement of that, but I'm sure the staff team will facilitate that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And which parks are you referring to specifically?
Penn Valley Off-Leash Dog Park is...
Off-leash.
Yep. So I know that there is a larger board that handles the maintenance of the Penn Valley Park, which includes, I think, the Broadway Theater, the statues that are there, and then also the World War I Museum. However, they've not included the dog park as part of it. There is a separate board that handles that I've been working with in terms of trying to get them to help us as well, just because it's such a high traffic park. I mean, on a regular, really nice afternoon, you're seeing anywhere from 150 to 200 people with dogs out there. So.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
May I hand this over, and will you leave us some contact information?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. And then, anyone else have questions?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Arney.
Thank you. My name's Don Arney. I feel a little awkward. This is a special meeting. We have 4 new board meeting members, and it's a celebration. And I'm coming to you with a concern, so bear with me.
Yes.
I do appreciate all the work you're doing, and just this little slice I see today, I see how many things you deal with and how important it is that you deal with these, and I really appreciate your work. I'm a bit befuddled by the sale of the parkland north of the river. I went up to visit this site. It's at Northeast 31st Street in North Oak. It's got a lot of mature trees. It's rugged but very beautiful terrain. It has signs of active use even without any amenities such as parking or trails or anything like that. My short visit found several species of birds, a few mammals, obviously a vibrant ecosystem, soil nutrients, fungi, understory trees, insects. All of these will perish because the surrounding area is not nearly as rich in an environment, and they will just go away. I did a letter, to keep this short, I did a letter to the editor, and I know reading is kind of awkward, but I'd like to read that because it's so on November 7th, the Kansas City, Missouri ballot measure, question 2, ask voter permission to sell 5.399 acres because it is unnecessary. This is a mature woodland near 32nd Street Terrace in North Holmes. The site is a significant part of our urban forest. It is a link in a wildlife corridor. It provides summer cooling, stormwater capture, a carbon sink, and biodiversity. Far from unnecessary, this site is an irreplaceable remnant of our natural heritage. In the metropolitan area, 1 small acre at a time, we have lost practically all of our natural ecosystem to agriculture, commercial, or residential use. Once these natural areas are lost, even with our best efforts, it will take decades or centuries to restore lost habitat. It is especially important to recognize and preserve the remaining natural areas in public ownership. We almost never consider the importance of nature as we make land use decisions, but our parks can and should lead in the preservation and interpretation of complex biosystems that sustained our well-being, including all of life itself. Just one final thought. I recently read a book by Douglas Tallamy, Bringing Nature Home. 44% of our insects are what's left in this world from our human development. We cannot live, anything that walks, crawls, swims, or flies cannot live without insects in this world. He suggests it's important to do things as simple as putting a flower pot in your balcony if you can do nothing else. It would take hundreds of thousands of flower pots to replace these 5.339 acres. If this does pass, I would really encourage you not to sell it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arney. Director Patton, do we have any follow-up on what that's set for sale for development?
Any other comments?
My name's Amy Gromowski. I'm a former commissioner. Congratulations to you all. You will realize the time commitment is massive. I am a proud parent of a Ruskin baseball player. Ruskin's home games are played at Satchel Paige Stadium. My mother is still alive at 83, and my in-laws are alive at 84 and 86. There are no handicap spots at Satchel Paige, none. They have 2 parking lots that are in terrible condition. And I meant to come last season, but I just didn't. And I'm here now to congratulate you all but know that, it's a home stadium for Ruskin. Like, that's where we play. And just not being able to have my parents or anybody that has a disability be able to come and watch the games is bad. It's no good. So I would love for you to pay attention to the handicap spots at Satchel Paige. I also sit on the Kansas City Election Board. They're expecting a 3% turnout on this ballot, 3%, and we only have, of the eligible Kansas City voters, only 48% are registered to vote. So we are talking like, I think there'll be 5,000 voters. I mean, it is insane. So if there is a way that the election board could work, and I know that all of the community centers are voter registration sites, but if there is a way in anticipation of 2024 that we can work together, the election board and the Parks Board, I would love to spearhead that and be a part of that. So please reach out to us. All right? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that offer, Commissioner, because I needed to early vote, and there were only 64 votes registered thus far for this November 7th ballot. It is extremely concerning. One thing I'll add to that, thank you for bringing up the ADA opportunities in that, let alone it is a treasure in the community that it sits in under the name of a legend, and we can do better. So thank you for bringing that up. And Mr. Arney, I wanted to go back to something you said. Just thank you for caring. It actually takes our individual understanding and passion, and for us to really use our voice the way that you just demonstrated to remind us. So I just really appreciate your thoughtfulness and the time that you took to share your letter. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Anyone else? All right, this concludes our agenda for today's meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, our next meeting will be held November 14th at 5 o'clock PM. Happy Halloween to everyone.